कालीकूर्च समायुक्त माया कोडोपदेशतः प्रणवार्थ प्रबोधिन्यौ नमामि गुरुपादुके श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः क्रीं मात्रे नमः. Namaste. Good afternoon to one and all. Namaskaram. Today we are going to continue on with the Kailashi's comments, starting with comment number 50. We saw till 50 in the last previous videos. I am sorry, there has been a little bit of gap. So 51, I am sorry. So years ago, many of you donated Shivalingams, like around 10,001 Shivalingas altogether. What did Nithyananda promise? He said he will build a magnificent temple in Tiruvannamalai, and that all the 10,001 lingas will be consecrated in that temple. And they come in two sizes, big and small, each with a different price tag. So now where are those Shivalingams right now? They are rotting under the blazing sun and cold winter of the open Vaidya Sarovar. No puja is performed, no abhisheka is performed, just cracking and broken. Nithyananda does not even care. All he cares is, okay, some bad words are there, I don't want to go into that, but we know what he cares about. So this is a complete shame to Hinduism. Now let me make one thing very clear. When statues or idols are being made, they will not be made from the stones which are exposed to the the portion of the stone which is exposed to the weather. There are two levels of idols. One level of idols are made for the purpose of art, made for the purpose of puja, and not made for the purpose of art, but made for the purpose of puja. So these idols, this is something from Shilpa Shastra, practical Shilpa Shastra, which I have gone and inquired. That is, let us understand, let us imagine a stone or a rock which is sitting outside. Okay, a rock is sitting outside. That same rock will also be there. One portion of that rock will also be there under the surface. So they will break off this top portion of the rock which is exposed to the elements for a long time, and that will be used for either gravel, that is for breaking down into blue metal or gravel, for using in construction and other things, or they will be used for making idols for the purpose of either art or for the purpose of just for temporary use. Now this stone is very cheap, and carving that stone is very easy. You can use some harder stones and carve this. These are very cheap idols which are available. You can go and purchase it for a very low cost. From what I can see in Tiruvannamalai ashram and also in Bidadi, from what I have heard, I have visited Tiruvannamalai, I have not visited Bidadi. From what I can hear, this is the quality of the stone that is used for making these Shivalingams. But if you want to make an actual Shivalingam for lasting for a long time, for doing worship, you have to use the higher quality of the stone which has been quarried and taken out. That will not be exposed to elements. It will be harder to carve that stone, and that will last longer. And also, when I say longer, at least 10 or 20 times longer than the exposed stone. So that is the stone that you are supposed to use for carving the idol. This is the practice here, and that is the stone that you can energize. That is the stone that will be used for making idols for worship, and that is 10 times more costlier. But what Nithyananda has done here is he has picked up the cheap quality stone which is exposed to the elements, which will easily crack and which will be easy to carve, very less cost. He has picked up this. He has made lingas out of that, and that too without maintenance. They are rotting right now under the sun and the elements. This is the worst thing that he can do to a linga, because not only to a linga, for any idol for that matter. That is, when you are making an idol, if you are going to keep it in your showcase, that is different. But if you are promising that you are going to conduct puja, and if you are not conducting that puja, then everybody involved in that process will get the saba, the curse from that particular deity. It is like saying I will feed you every day, and calling somebody and then not even allowing them inside your home, asking them to sit in front of your house in the hot sun and the cold weather, and not feeding them, making them go hungry, making them starve. How will you feel if somebody is doing this to you? I am telling you, please come to my house, I will feed you, okay, I will take care of you, you are coming, I am asking you to sit in front of my house in the corridor, open to the sun and the elements, and I am not feeding you. I am just letting you starve and rot there till you die, till you break into pieces. That is exactly what is happening to those Shivalingas. The various pieces of energy of Shiva that are supposed to be inside that linga, that were invited to be inside that linga, even by the thoughts of the person who is donating the money, everybody will be affected. Everybody will be affected. So, if you have given money for any linga to be installed and that is not being taken care of in the Nithyananda Sangha, please go to some Shiva temple, give something, and make sure that you are at least sponsoring 5 or 6 kalas of puja. Or if possible, give for one whole month of maintenance, 48 days of maintenance for one particular Naivedya, something like that. Do for the temple. Only then you will be able to resolve yourself out of that karma. Otherwise it will affect you and your family, because you have invited Shiva and you have made him starve inside that particular linga. This is an insidious act and a shame to Hinduism, as Kailashi has mentioned. Moving on to the 52nd point. So I am asking an important question. Why there are only 2 old devotees left with Nithyananda, Bhaktika and Prana? If Nithyananda was really Lord Shiva, how come everyone ran away, far away from him as they could? Now pull the records of genuine ashrams and you will see that, you know, there will be so many disciples who are lasting, going back more than 40, 50 or 60 years with that ashram, generations of people following. How come nobody is following Nithyananda continuously? Something is not right. So this is a very important point, because you know, when we were discussing for our interviews with Janardhan ji, he was telling me that there is a list off the top of his head. You could say the names of 50-60 people, okay, who were previously with Nithyananda in very top positions, just like Janardhan ji, and they have simply left. They are unable to take it anymore, they have left. Or some other huge problem has happened, they have left. Some of them are speaking out against Nithyananda after coming out. So how is this happening? How is this possible? That is the question. For example, if the rate of attrition, okay, let us leave everything, let us leave spirituality, let us leave everything. Simple concept. In a company, in an organization, if the rate of attrition is very, very high, then what is wrong with the organization? Anybody with the basic knowledge of management, we will say mismanagement is happening. Some kind of corruption is happening inside the management. That is why people are leaving. Some impartiality, something is happening, people are leaving. So similarly, in Nithyananda Sangha, there is hell a lot of confusion at the upper levels, hell a lot of misbehavior amongst the hierarchy, and people are leaving left, right and center. If you see carefully, that the entire Nithyananda Sangha, the top officials would have been recycled, except the very few people who are in the game, who knows what they are doing, who knows what Nithyananda is doing is a show. I will give you my guess. All Nithyananda's relatives, like his mother, his brother, all these people, they know what is happening. Prana Priya knows what is happening. Atma Priya knows what is happening. And then Ranjita knows what is happening. Apart from these people, everybody else keeps on recirculating. That is, old people will go, new people will come. And also Nithyananda will keep on maintaining the same names, giving an illusion as if that person has not left him. I heard there are 4 Jnana Maharajas, 4 Jnana Maharaj, and then 3 Gopikas, and 3 Manishas existing there. Even one more Vidyashwara is existing inside. So this is what I hear from various sources. So keeping this name, maintaining this name, Nithi is trying to create the illusion as if he is having a strong structure of people supporting him. But unfortunately, only very few people, here 2 names have been mentioned, Prana and Bhaktika. So these 2 people are there with Nithyananda. Other than that, everybody has left. This is what Kailashi is saying here. I would like to differ and say some more people are also existing. But having a 50-60-year-old tenure in various places, we can see that. But not even 3 or 4-year-old tenure is possible with Nithyananda, and that is a huge problem. That shows clearly that people are getting dissatisfied. with Nithyananda and leaving, people are being dissatisfied with the Sangha and leaving, you cannot attribute all of this to their own ego. Because if some power, divine power, is happening in one place, then the proportion of satisfied versus dissatisfied must be in support of satisfied. For example, Tirupati. Billions of people are visiting Tirupati. We will always have some people who are saying, oh, the whole thing is wrong, I went and I was, one person, one minister came, he was standing in Perumal for 15 minutes, for which we were made to wait for 2 hours. All these naysayers will be there. But if you take the proportion of these naysayers, dissatisfied people who discontinue going to Tirupati because of these reasons, to the proportion of people who are ardent believers, who are going every year, the proportion will be like 1000 to 1. 1000 believers will say it is correct. 1% will become non-believers and leave. But in case of Nithyananda, we are seeing that for every 20 people who are believing in him, continuing to believe in him, there are 80 people who are coming out and saying it is wrong, what I did is wrong, I was not in my control, so many things they are saying. So it is clearly evident that he is not an avatar and nothing divine is happening inside, and people are unable to tolerate what is happening inside, and they are coming out left, right and center. And that is the 52nd point. 53rd point. Yes, this one is a repeat point. Have you ever seen any enlightened masters crave so much for glittering gold, diamonds and silver? So here it is okay if a person is craving for rudraksha or anything like that after getting, no, that is also not okay, Mr. Kailashi. Let me speak about it later. Okay, so other than that, craving for gold and other jewels, is it okay? Yes, because we need to remember there are 2 things that Ramakrishna Paramahamsa repeatedly said we should avoid. Kamini, Kanchana. Kamini means desire towards women. Kanchana means desire towards wealth. We are seeing that the only thing Nithyananda's identity is associated with is craving for these 2 things. Craving for Kaminis, craving for Kanchana. He wants more and more women with him, and he wants more and more jewels and gold with him. More wealth, more land, everything comes under Kanchana. And desire for disciples, desire for slaves, desire for women, desires for sex, all these things comes under Kamini. So this is the identity of Nithyananda. So it is very clear that he is not only not enlightened, but he is on the other end of the spectrum, full of greed and full of ego. So that is the reality. 54th point. Now let us talk about the photo in which allegedly he appeared out of thin air during an early morning yoga. Did Nithyananda ever comment about it? You mean Avatara Lord Shiva can only appear and disappear when nobody is watching? How come nobody saw him and got his darshan? When Nithyananda said he can appear out of thin air in any part of the world, has he ever done that? Did anyone have that darshan so far? I challenge Nithyananda to open those records and show to the world. Now this is another claim, that is, there is one particular photo of Nithyananda that was taken when it is being stated that he appeared out of thin air. But there is no video evidence. Let me mind you, that is only a photo. Now I can ask somebody to take a photo of myself now, and I can say I appeared out of thin air before this photo happened. I can take any photo of mine and say this. What is there? There is this is a statement that cannot be disproven. Okay, you go and watch our Tattvabodha series, you will say there is something called as primordial non-existence, and then there is post-destructive non-existence, eternal non-existence. Now coming from primordial non-existence to existence, that has happened somewhere in some place, but I cannot claim that happened just a moment before by showing the proof of my existence. I have to show the proof of my non-existence, proof of my creation, and then proof of my existence together in order for this to happen. So that is not being done, and that photo is just another myth that came out of Nithyananda's ass, and he wanted to promulgate it, and people are promulgating it. That is the value that I can give for that. And if you can do this, do it in laboratory conditions and show. Not only this, do everything in laboratory conditions. There is a challenge available from James Randi, $1 million challenge. Go and do it, get that money, give that money to me. I am happy to get that money from you. You don't have to do it for money. I will take $1 million from you. We will make a contract. I will make the arrangement for you to appear in James Randi's challenge. I will make the arrangement for that. You prove your siddhi to him, your siddhi or shakti, shitti, whatever you want to call it, prove it to him. Give that money to me. I will take that money. I will be happy to take that money. I will use it for some other dharmic purpose. I will not use it for my own purpose. I will use it for dharmic purpose. But you prove to the world that supernatural is existing. In Hinduism, huge advertisement. You don't want advertisement, then huge proof. For your enlightenment, do it. For anything that you are claiming, for any of these saktis or siddhis or shittis, whatever you are claiming. Okay, so that challenge is still open to Rajashekar and his followers. Going back to the 55th point, Nithyananda said that Tiruvannamalai ashram is going to be a super temple, the most powerful temple. Since Tiruvannamalai is the place where he took birth, he has he stated that he has the support from the locals there. Okay, because he claimed that numerous times the locals in Tiruvannamalai supported him 100%. If so, then why are you locking the Tiruvannamalai ashram all the time? Open the ashram and let us see what happens. This is a very valid question. Here, Kailashi is saying that you are saying Nithyananda has been proclaiming that everybody in Tiruvannamalai is almost his devotee. You go and see this video. I will. They have deleted this video actually. There is one particular video during the Leela Dhyan. Okay, during the Leela Dhyan, this woman, I think it is Atma Priya, I am not sure of the identification of the person. Okay, that woman is taking a group of 15-16 disciples. That was the total number of Leela Dhyan participants. 17 people, I suppose. She was taking them to a hotel where the hotel manager is saying totally something different in Tamil. He is saying, I don't know, get out, this is not the time for discussing all these things. And she is saying that this person who is translating, the ashram in charge, is blatantly saying, okay, this is the place where Swami visited. He is saying that this is the place where Swami used to get 1 or 2 rupees from the counter every day. All these things she is translating. Totally opposite, totally blatant lies, on the moment lies. The person who is the shopkeeper, he understands a little bit of English, so his face is going darker and darker by the moment. Because she is saying, translating something totally different than what he is saying. And they have taken down this video. Unfortunately, if anybody has this copy of this Leela Dhyan video, please send it to me. I will show it in the next clip. I will attach it in the next clip, where a group of devotees of Nithyananda who went for the Leela Dhyan are standing there, and this woman who is the guide from the ashram is totally translating wrongly, is translating the opposite and telling to people that, you know, what this fellow is saying is he is accepting whatever I am saying, when all he is saying is get out of this place. Okay, so these kinds of blatant mistranslation, lying in front of your face, lying through the teeth, this is what is happening in Tiruvannamalai. We are getting a totally different story, we are getting a totally different scenario when we are going and speaking to the locals there. Like I said about the Linga, it is totally opposite in Tiruvannamalai. And that is the reason why they are not keeping the ashram open at all times. Whenever they are able to get some local support from local gundas and other paid off parties, they are keeping the ashram open. Other times it is safely being kept closed. And you must remember that the Tiruvannamalai ashram once burnt because of public protest. They kept it totally closed down for 4-5 years, I suppose. 3-4 years, I suppose. I am not sure of the timeline. Okay, so this is the reality in Tiruvannamalai. Whenever he is going to Tiruvannamalai, people are protesting. Whenever his Sangha is trying to conduct any activity there, people are protesting. They don't want anything whatsoever to do with him. And even the ashrams in Tiruvannamalai, which are like Nithyananda, even they are not supporting Nithyananda because they know for a fact they will get totally shortchanged, and even they will be attached to Nithyananda ashram if they come near him. That is the reality in Tiruvannamalai. And Nithi is claiming so many other things otherwise. Okay, so that is the 55th point. Moving on to 56th point. I remember when Nithyananda got the Tiruvannamalai land in the early days and stayed there. I shared the room with an old man. Only later I came to know that the old man was the assistant of Annamalai Swami, and Annamalai Swami was an assistant of Ramana Maharshi. So Being linked to an enlightened person is very important. So this old man was so lucky to have served Annamalai Swami, and I was spending some time with him. Before Annamalai Swami took Samadhi, he has told this old man to do Girivalam every day. So this old man, who is 97 years old, he is doing Girivalam till today. And we shared a dorm, attached house. That is Kailashi and this disciple of Annamalai Swami is sharing one place. And he told me more than one time that I cannot live here anymore. It is all fake. Nothing here is true. So Nithyananda was relentlessly trying to keep keep me staying, and he could not break that promise. So which promise? The promise made to Annamalai Swami. So he was doing Girivalam. So he kept on postponing the departure to every other week. But one day he cannot take it anymore, and he left. But I was lucky to do one last bit of questioning before waving goodbye to him. I asked him the famous story of Nithyananda cutting himself. Do you remember the story of Nithyananda puncturing his veins in front of Annamalai Swami? And he answered, as usual, nothing. It did not happen. So Nithyananda is claiming one story that he punctured his veins in front of Annamalai Swami, who was a disciple of Ramana Maharshi. This is a famous story. And this person, who was a disciple of Annamalai Swami, who Nithyananda compelled to stay in the ashram for such a long time, has finally left right now. And Kailashi was staying with Annamalai Swami during that time, and finally when the devotee of Annamalai Swami during that time, and finally before he left, he asked this question whether the story of Nithyananda puncturing his veins in front of Annamalai Swami really happened. And it seems the devotee of Annamalai Swami, who was his assistant throughout his life, 97-year-old man, said no, it did not happen. One more lie of Nithyananda's legacy in Tiruvannamalai proven wrong. So I think I don't have any more to comment on that. That is very, very self-evident. That point is very, very self-evident. So moving on to the 57th point. 57th point. 57th point. So nowadays Nithyananda says he is being attacked. He is innocent. He never did a thing. Christian gangs are out to kill him, and so many other things. So what did he do then? Okay, you must pay attention here. You have been blindfolded and rerouted. He clearly made this problem as the problem of every Hindu. He rerouted the whole story saying Hinduism is being attacked. So he brought in Rajiv Malhotra to attend IA for free and made him sit in the Bidadi for ashram for few weeks. Through Rajiv Malhotra, he brought his problems to the center stage of the world. He made all the Hindus all over the world to believe that Hindus are being attacked. Why? Because he is the avatar of Shiva who took birth, so demons are out there to kill him. How stupid are we? Remembering all those demon crap he was speaking about, unfortunately Rajiv Malhotra fell for it. End of the story. Okay, so this is another thing. This is what I have been dealing with when I am speaking about the Hindu Holocaust projection of Nithyananda. That is a separate video. Go and watch that series. I am clearly explaining the Hindu Holocaust narrative of Nithyananda in those videos. I think 3 or 2 parts are out. I am bad with math. So basically what Nithyananda is doing there, he is trying to project as if Hinduism is being attacked when he is being attacked. He is trying to cash in on every attack on Hinduism and saying I am being attacked. And when he is being attacked, he is saying Hinduism is being attacked. He is trying to create this complex scenario here, wherein any attack on him is attack on Hinduism. This is very, very important, because people are defending Nithyananda today thinking that it is their duty as a Hindu to do so. Let me make it very clear. By supporting Nithyananda, you are only bringing more shame to Hinduism. And that is exactly what I am exposing in very great detail in those videos. Word by word I am taking Nithyananda's audio, I am debunking it there. Okay. Okay, there is something happening there. Okay. So debunking it there. So we will go with that video for this explanation. Moving on to the 57th point. 57, yeah, that is over. Okay, 58th point. Back in 2010, it is so fresh in my mind. His videos were leaked to Indian media, and he was shocked. He could not move a bit. But then his secretary, Sri Jnana Sadananda, this guy is #1 fraud in the ashram. He knew that Nithyananda was being with Ranjita but never spoke a word. So then Nitya Sadananda was directed by Nithyananda to go and speak to all the inmates of Bidadi, because everyone is finding looking for Nithyananda and he is nowhere to be found. So Sri Nitya Sadananda told all the inmates that Nithyananda is in deep samadhi and he is not in the body. So when will he come out? Nobody knows. Everyone asked what happened to everyone asked what happened to Sri Nitya Sadananda, why all these videos and other scandals. So Nithyananda had told Nitya Sadananda to disseminate one piece of information, that since Lenin broke the videos and he is a Christian by birth, so he linked it with the Vatican City and attacking Nithyananda, and everybody believed it. Only later we came to know that Lenin, it was not Lenin who recorded, but it was another person, Arti Rao, and Lenin. Yes. So and Arti Rao is also a victim. I am rephrasing here. The words are very vulgar. I am rephrasing it here. Okay. And it was like earthquake when Ranjita, when Arti Rao came to know that Ranjita was also involved in the similar manner, and many other women was also in the similar manner, and the whole world knew, because she wanted to burn Nithyananda to ashes. Now here again Kailashi is speaking about some jealousy and other things which I don't want to subscribe to. Okay, because if jealousy is the motive, then the holding this much, standing behind the statement this much, that will not happen. If I am doing something out of jealousy, I don't think I will be able to sustain it for this long, for 7-10 years. Okay, but this is pure. The motives as far as I am concerned are pure. And what he is saying here, the important piece of information is that he linked the entire thing to Vatican City because Lenin is born a Christian. But from what I can understand, he is from a very spiritual Hindu background. Okay, and everybody believed that because they are a bunch of fools. Nithyananda devotees are a bunch of fools. And the person who was asked to disseminate this information was Nitya Sadananda. Now I also have to ask another question. Where is Nitya Sadananda right now? Already left the ashram. So we have to add him to a huge list of people who have left the ashram, and after being with Nithyananda so closely for certain time, he has also left the ashram right now, as far as I can see. So what is happening here is, during the scandal, he did not have the guts to come and face his own ashram inmates even, and say, I have done the mistake or I have not done the mistake. And this is something. So this is how people will react when they are guilty. That is, if I have done a mistake in the organization, in any organization for that matter, I am the head of the organization, some huge thing is happening, the entire organization is going to crumble, I will close myself inside a room and never come out if I have done the mistake. If I had not done the mistake, I will come and stand in front of the media. First of all, I will arrange for a meeting inside my organization, and I will come and speak openly, stating, I have not done any mistake, this whole thing is wrong, I am going to face it. We will face it together. First of all, I want you to understand that I am not in the mistake here. I am not the person who has done wrong. This whole thing is a lie, web of lies that has been spun against me. I have proof that I am not the person who is there in the video. I will face it in the court. This is how a normal person will react. But if I have done the mistake, what I will do is, I will lock myself inside the room, I will send somebody, and I will say all sorts of stories about the person who has created this problem without facing the people directly. Now I am asking one very simple question to everybody who was there in the ashram at that time. Why did Nithyananda not come and explain himself to you? Instead, why did he send this Sadananda, whoever, to say some lies about Lenin? That is my basic question. And these same lies are being repeated again and again for anybody who is entering the ashram later on, and every 2 years once he is repeatedly stating that this is what happened to me, this I was attacked by Christian mob, this and that, during this scandal. Now this whole narrative of Nithyananda being attacked by a Christian mob goes to dogs if you simply look at the background of each person who is involved in exposing Nithyananda. You will understand that most of them are ardent Hindutva followers, including myself. I am coming from a very staunch Hindutva background, and looking at what Nithyananda is doing, my stomach is burning. So many sannyasis, so many sadhus, after looking at my videos, people who already knew me as well as people who wanted my contact information and knew, both of them are calling me and they are saying their stomach is burning, literally looking at what Nithyananda is doing. They are nauseated by his activities. And that will be the normal reaction of any Hindu practitioner, or any Hindutva devotee who looks at Nithyananda, any devotee of Bharatamata, any devotee of Kali, any devotee of any deity in Hinduism. When they look at what Nithyananda is doing, that will be their reaction as well. That being said, we will end this session. Dacham yora vranimahe gatum yajnaya gatum yajnapataye daivi swastirastu naha swastir manushebhyah ऊर्ध्वञ्जिकातु भेषजं शन्नो अस्तु द्विपते संचतुष्पते आं शान्तिः 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 नमः सदसे.